Baker Mayfield in a semi-safe space on a couch with a dog, talking about his time with the Browns and how it indeed is coming to an end. Here's Baker Mayfield from the Ya Neva Know Podcast.
I have no regrets of my time in Cleveland, of what I tried to give to that place.
Right.
And true Clevelanders and true Browns fans know that. And that's why I can walk away from the whole situation feeling like I did it.
And now, do you feel like the way the office has handled it has been disrespectful to you, given where you came in and where they are now? And
I mean, yeah, the respect thing is like it's all going to be like a personal opinion.
Yeah,
like,
and
I feel disrespected 100%. Because I was told one thing and they completely did another. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And you know what? Okay, I got my taste of it because I've had 4 different head coaches in 4 years, a bunch of different coordinators. I've had talk about the highs. They always come back. Mm-hmm. They always come back.
Yeah.
What a scene that was. I love that dog. That dog became a social media star yesterday. There was one pose that dog was in where he looked like a cooked turkey, where the legs were popped up like the wings and the body swells up like the breast of the turkey. That dog was rolling around all over the place, and at one point Baker asked the dog to kind of
that dog will never be in my house. I know that. That ain't gonna happen. I don't care. Dogs are great. I love animals. That ain't one of my favorites right there. I know that.
That dog seems a little bit older. I don't know how I'd feel about older dog on a white couch.
Yeah,
I just think that could go sideways very quickly.
No
but
question.
that dog did become a star yesterday. So, Baker feels disrespected, as he should, by the Browns, to the extent that they told him one thing and they did something else.
Right.
And this is a prime example of and I don't get it. It's a simple.
What did they tell you, Baker?
What do you mean?
What did they tell you?
Where's your basic human curiosity? Was that checked at the door? Was there a negotiation ahead of time as to what questions would or wouldn't be asked? But something as simple as they told me one thing and did another, how do you not say, and I'm trying very hard here not to, piss anyone off, but how do you not say, what are you talking about? We're left to surmise, Chris, on what he's talking about.
No, I know. It drives you crazy. It does. I mean, that's the what do you want to say? The silver bullet, the headline is what everybody wants to know. I mean, that was the $1 million question right there. Okay, yes, we all feel like you got disrespected. It seems that way. We want to help you in that fight and go, wait, what the hell was Cleveland doing? I mean, just from the outside looking in, right? At that time, we were going, wait, did you really think that you flirting with Deshaun Watson wasn't going to upset Baker Mayfield? I mean, again, we don't even know Baker Mayfield, but we know him through media enough to know stuff like that's going to piss him off. And so that's where I would love to just know that part of the message. Hey, Baker, we're just going to talk to him and kind of feel the situation out. Was he cool with that? Or was he not cool? Did they tell him, hey, we're not even going to talk to him all together, and we're not going to do that? And then they did that. Where was the line of demarcation? How far, down the road were you led to believe that they might look at Deshaun Watson? I am dying to know that aspect. That to me is, it's killing me. And I wanted to get on that couch there and be like, all right, dude, hey, move over, be quiet for a second. I got some football questions to ask here.
Here's the best I can do at figuring out what he was referring to.
Yeah.
Last Sunday of the regular season, 2021,
right.
Early 2022, Baker Mayfield didn't play that home game against the Cincinnati Bengals. That was when he finally had shoulder surgery. We'll talk about that more coming up. There was a report from NFL media that the Browns plan to keep Baker Mayfield for the 2022 season. They plan to go forward with Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback. A splash report like the one that we referred to earlier, where week 1 of the 2022 season, someone will have as a splash report that Tom Brady was going to go to Miami. And I'm looking at the article now. It's one of these where they've got 2 guys on it. It's a story that's too big for one. This story is big enough. We got to have 2 bylines on the report that the Browns plan to move forward with Baker Mayfield as their starting quarterback for 2022. Not just on the team, but They head into the offseason with plans to retain Baker Mayfield as their quarterback for 2022. That's what was told to us. I assume that's what was told to him.
Right.
That changed at some point between Week 18, Sunday Splash report, and here's the other report that I have. When we get to the aftermath of the initial flirtation with Deshaun Watson, another NFL media report. Here's the quote. The team still views Baker Mayfield as their quarterback. They told Mayfield's agents at the Combine they'd only explore top-tier quarterbacks such as Deshaun Watson. That's different from what he was told at the end of the season. End of the season, if we're told, presumably Baker's told, you're our guy, you're our guy, you're our guy. Between then and late February, well, you're our guy unless we can get Deshaun Watson or some other top-tier quarterback, which implies you ain't one.
Yeah.
So that's the best I can
I mean,
discern.
I think that's what we can.
That's the two different stories. But it would have been a lot easier to just say, hey, Baker, what are you talking about?
Right.
Baker, tell us more.
Well, that's where it's like, what changed there? And I know in between there, right, maybe to connect some dots here, or at least to figure this out, we had the talks of a little bit of the Baker, what he's expecting, what kind of money, what kind of contract would it take? I mean, is that what changed the tide or the tune of the Cleveland Browns? Did they talk to representation with Baker Mayfield and go, whoa, okay, wait, he's going to ask for that kind of money. That's kind of a game changer here. And we're going to, now investigate some other avenues as far as quarterbacks are going to go. I got to think some of that came into play here as far as being able to sign him to a long-term deal or respectable money that made sense for the team. I would think that's at least part of this conversation.
I personally think that they came to the conclusion at some point last year that there was too big of a divide between what Baker wants and what the Browns want for it to ever get to that point. Remember when Joe Thomas suggested not that long ago the Browns would have paid him $30 million a year, and there was a denial or whatever. I can't remember how it was phrased. Somebody did an off-the-record denial in response to Joe Thomas's claim. And my take was it never got to the point where an offer was made because they knew based on the preliminary conversations that they were wasting their time.
Right.
That Baker Mayfield is operating in one stratosphere and the Browns are operating in another. And Baker Mayfield could have had $30 million a year if he had wanted it. But we've talked about this before. Why would he have wanted it based upon his 2020 season? Going into 21, the arrow was pointing up, and the salary expectations were pointing toward $40 million per year or more. So I think what happened is once they got distance from the season, they were able to take a step back. Remember we said last year how the Steelers, when they got distance from the 2020 season, they got themselves all worked up into this possibility that they could load up the cannon one more time with Ben Roethlisberger and maybe have a better result than the prior year.
Right.
I think when the Browns got distance from 2021, they thought, okay, here's what we're dealing with.
Right.
We have a guy who goes good year, bad year, good year, bad year.
Right.
We have a situation where he's under contract for one more year.
Yeah.
He's getting his shoulder fixed.
Right.
He's going to be motivated to prove that he deserves a big contract. So he's going to have a big season. We're going to have to give him a big contract, and then we go back on the good year, bad year roller coaster. That's not what we're looking for.
And the emotional roller coaster. I think you got to add that in too. Just the emotional roller coaster of Baker Mayfield, whether it's the Odell Beckham Jr. stuff or the media and everything like that too. I got to think that's part of what they thought too, to just go, wait, how far down the road do we want to go with Baker Mayfield in this conversation? I would think all of those things plus what you said would lead them to, maybe that thought there for sure.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.